Hey y'all, welcome to Criminally Creative, a channel about my various creative endeavors. My name is Susan. You can find me on Ravelry as Legal Eagle and on Instagram as Criminally Creative, the number one. Today is Friday, April 25th, 2025, and I am going to start filming a kit parade. I'm going to doing this in kind of in segments. So it may be one video, it may end up being more than one video depending on how long it all takes. So I'm going to start with my kits, like the Dimensions kits, and then I have a couple from other manufacturers, but the ones that were like sold as kits that I have. Some of these are older kits that I picked up in lots. Some are kits that I bought intentionally. So also, as I go through the whole kit parade, I'm going to probably be making a few decisions, pulling out some things that maybe I want to start sooner rather than later, maybe making some decisions about things that I don't think I will ever stitch that maybe I can get rid of. And then there's probably going to be a whole lot of things that I want to keep. I want to keep either the kit or kitted up, but I still don't know when I'm going to start it. So I am actually filming this on my iPad instead of my phone. So we're going to see how this goes. And so that's why you have a little bit different background, because where I had to prop the iPad to not be like looking at me from under here. So if you have thoughts about this video versus my other videos as far as the way it looks or sound or any of that stuff, please let me know. So I will get started with the kits. Okay, I have a little stack here of some kind of like smaller in size kits, so we'll do those first. First up is from Designs for the Needle. It says Hometown Counter Cross Stitch. I'm not familiar with this one. I think I got this one maybe in a lot with some other stuff that I definitely wanted. Has the wolf. I don't know if it has a wolf. That's what it's called, wolf. My husband really likes wolves, so I probably will. I'm not sure when I'll start this. It's on 8. It's got 18 count fiddler's cloth. It says it's only 8 by 10, so that's, I don't know. I'm not going to put it in the sooner rather than later pile, but I will definitely hang on to that one. Excuse me. As always, I apologize for the random coughing. This one is a Busilla kit called Christmas Promises. Actually, it's Christmas Promises, I guess, is the line. It's called Peaceful Night. That one's cute. That's a maybe. I might get rid of that. We'll see. I don't know. The reality is there's no way I can stitch all of this. So I'm trying to be realistic. This is a Dimensions, the Gold Collection Petites. It's a Santa with Friends ornament. I will definitely keep that because I have a lot of Dimensions ornaments that I definitely want to make at some point. This one is another Dimensions Gold Collection Petites called Victorian Way. Got this one, I think, out of a lot. As you can see, the AC Moore price tag, which AC Moore no longer exists. Excuse me. This one I will definitely do. This is a Dimensions Gold Collection Petites. Believe in Santa. Really like that one. Dimensions Welcome to Group Therapy. I obviously bought, I know I bought that and I bought it somewhere on sale. And then this one is actually a Dimensions needlepoint kit called Dragonfly Pair, because I love dragonflies. So those are the kind of smaller in size ones that I have. And I have a whole little bin here of bigger ones. Dimensions Gold Collection, Alan Maley's Gracious Era. I'm just showing you the cover pictures for all these because all of these are kitted with the kit fabric, the kit floss, that sort of stuff. But since that's usually Ada and nothing spectacular, then I'm not really going to show you. This is Dimensions Gold Collection, the Santa's Wildlife Tree Skirt. And it does have the whole giant piece of fabric. That's another one I'm not sure that I'm actually going to do, but we'll see. Dimensions Gold Collection, A Treasured Time. Dimensions Gold Nuggets. This is called Noel Santa. And it comes, this part right here is background fabric that it comes with. So it comes, this is basically the whole kit to completely do it. I think, I don't see that cording, but I see a floss that color that in a good quantity. So it may be that it gives you the floss to actually make that cording. Gold Collection Dimensions Beaded Elegance Ornaments. This is an older one, but it also comes with felt for like the back and the beads and everything. Dimensions Gold Collection Pleasures of Winter. I'm a sucker for a winter scene. This is Dimensions Wise Owl. I really like this one. And somebody I watched on FlossTube somewhat recently is working on this. Another Dimensions regular called White Magic. More wolves. That is on Black Ada. Another Dimensions Call of the Wilderness. Yet again, more wolves. That one must be... Oh, there's a little bit of fabric showing. This area right here is the light blue fabric. It just looks more light blue in the fabric than it does in the picture. Dimensions Peaceful... Whoops, sorry, I just knocked the stand you're sitting on. Dimensions Peaceful Stream. Dimensions American Patriot. Thought about maybe doing this one for my son who's active duty Army. I'm just trying to find all the dimensions before I... this one is in a bag because the plastic was... Well, no, I don't know why I stuck that one in a bag. Thought it was because the plastic was falling apart, but apparently it's not. This is Dimensions Scenic Farm. I've seen several people do that one. That one is one I will definitely do. And another one in the bag. Is this one because it's falling apart, or just because at some point I thought I'd put them in bags? I don't know. This is Dimensions Barnyard Kitties. Another one that's, sorry, I'm trying to not do the glare. Another one that's on Black Ada. Dimensions Illustrated USA. And Dimensions Christmas Village Ornaments. Brenda, what is Brenda's? The Handwork Maniac. Couldn't think of her FlossTube name for a second. She's been doing these, I think, like one a year. And so I had to have that one. And then a couple that are not Dimensions. Sunset Chickadees on a Fence. Sunset Victorian Charm. Y'all have probably seen that one. I think several people have done that. Sorry for leaning out of the frame. My basket keeps moving. Sunset Majestic Eagle. I love eagles. Huh. I need to check where I had this because, oh, there it goes. That is one that it all slid out. I went and picked it up and didn't realize it all slid out. This is Thomas Kincaid Holiday Gathering. And I was like, I picked it up and there was nothing back there, and it's because it all did fall out. So that one actually does need to go in one of those bags. This is a Russian kit off of there's a website called Bobbin something. I ordered a couple things from one time. I'm looking to see if it has a name in English, but I don't see one. But it's just kittens with balls of yarn. I'm not seeing a name for it in English or of the manufacturer. This one is a Panna kit called Clockwork Dragonfly. Another one I ordered off that Russian site. Needlewoman is the English translation for this one. This is a Riolas kit. Don't see a name for the pattern. Kind of a wintry, kind of Christmassy North Star, the animals. I'm looking to see if I see a name for the pattern, but I don't see a name for the thing. And then last but not least, this is a needle art from Cross My Heart kit. And it is called, what is this called? Sunset Silhouette. Yeah, Sunset Silhouette. I saw this stitched up on a brag table. I think it's StitchCon when I went, and it's gorgeous. So I tracked it down and had to have that. So that is all the kit. Well, I have tons of Mill Hill kits, which I will show you at another point. But as far as other kits that are sold as kits, that is all those. Okay, next up we have my Gecko Rouge kits, and then just a couple other things that were sold as kit only. There's going to be some crinkling with the Gecko Rouge because it's that stiffer plastic and I'm not taking them out, so I apologize in advance. But I went through a Gecko Rouge phase till I got rational about how many Gecko Rouges I could actually stitch in my lifetime. I've actually only started one across Winter Lake. But Jo Grundy is one of my favorite artists with Gecko Rouge, and so I have several of hers, and then I've got a couple others that I've picked up here and there, and who knows when or if I'll ever start them. But other than one of them that I'm probably gonna get rid of because when I get there I'll show you, then I love them all. We'll just see what happens. So first up is Jo Grundy Through the Silence of Snow, and again I apologize for crinkling. Trying to see if I can do it without too much glare. This is Jo Grundy. Oops. I tried to put them up on my desk so I didn't have to reach over every time, and now they're sliding. Jo Grundy Dragonfly Pool. That one there, that might be a start sooner rather than later. This is artwork by Roseanne Bell, Beach Flowers. These are Gecko Rouge is sold only in kits, and they are all full coverage, so, and they're not small. Artwork by Laura Iverson. This is called Magenta Morning. This is the one that I'm probably going to get rid of. This is artwork by Tanya Bond. It's called Blobby. Gecko Rouge well, I don't know if they still do because I haven't looked at their website in a long time just because I didn't want to be tempted. They do something called a gem where you don't know what the pattern's going to look like. And when I got this one, I don't know that they even told you the artist. So it's cute. It's just not something I'm ever going to spend the time stitching. So I think later Another one that I got as a surprise, they told you the artist. So but anyway, that one's probably going to go away. Like this one was a Gecko Ho Ho Ho, which was another surprise one, but they told you the artist, and the artist was Joe Grundy, who I love, so I got this one. This is called Over Snowy Hedge. This is artwork by Desi Georgieff called Owl. I just like the kind of steampunk look of that one. Another one by Desi Georgieff called New Morning Winter. I'm keeping this one for now. I love it. In reality, I'm not sure I want to stitch all that white and black, so we'll see going forward. There's another series that Gecko Rouge has or had that was all like the poppies, the black and white artwork with the poppies, like the World War II stuff. And I love them all, but I haven't bought one because, again, all the black and white. And then this one is based on artwork by Jonas Jodicki called A Mother's Love. And this was put out shortly after all the fires in Australia. Koala bears are my favorite animal, and I had a ton of koala bear stuff growing up. I love this. I'm not sure I'm going to love stitching all these browns, but one of these days I will actually start that. So that is all the Gecko Rouge. If you watch my floss tube regularly, you know that one of my projects is Tree of Magic by Barbara Anna, which was originally only available from Nitka Moscow as a kit. I also have the Christmas tree, and this is the only picture I have right now. They came in these lovely tubes, and it's got the patterns kind of rolled up in there in the floss, so with the fabric, and I just lost the tag because it is just kind of stuck in the tube under the lid. So, and then another one that I bought from them, and again, this is a Russian company. This was pre-war Ukraine that I bought these. So this is called the Four Seasons. Again, as a kit. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, that you can get both of these patterns as well as Tree of Magic off Creative Poppy now from Barbara Anna. But at the time I bought those, you could only buy them through Nitka Moscow as the kit. And then one other thing that was kit only, this is from Forbidden Fiber Co. It came in this bag. And the pattern is Witch's Ride. This was a Halloween, I think it was Halloween kind of surprise thing. The pattern says, when witches go riding and black cats are seen, the moon laughs and whispers, 'tis near Halloween. And of course the picture is in black and white, so you don't really see, I don't think we got a picture with the, oh, it was a 13 Days of Halloween box that came with a bunch of other stuff, but, and I may have showed it on my floss tube at the time. I don't remember. It came with some floss cards and a needle minder, and all Forbidden Fiber Co. floss. So that kind of gives you an idea of the colors in it. And then it has Forbidden Fiber Co. Spellbound, and I got 40 count. So I do not know if that pattern is available on her website now, and I will look if I can find a picture of what it looks like stitched up, like with the colors on it. I will put that up as I've been talking here. So, okay, a couple more things I found that I purchased as a kit. Some of these are not cross-stitch, but they're embroidery. I bought, this is from Kiriki Press Co. I've got several little embroidery stitch samplers where you learn several different stitches, and then it gives you a small little piece in the middle that uses those stitches. I don't know that all these have names. Actually, it does, but it's not. It's supposed to be showing up in that little box right there, but it's not down enough. So there's a moth. This one is called Knit Sweater. Beginner. This is just a sampler of stitches. Winter Wreath. Swan. I think it's like bikini, or I don't know what it's called. It's got a bikini on it. Intermediate. And Sankey Egg. I don't know how to pronounce that first word, but and then also this is a little DIY embroidered doll kit that makes this llama back here. So it's the fabric, and then you do some embroidery stitches on it. I just bought those a few years ago, theoretically to learn some embroidery stitches, but of course I haven't done anything. This is called this is a kit that I bought from Elaine O'Neill, who is an artist in my area. I think she lives actually up in I think she lives in Chapel Hill or Hillsborough, but she does a lot of UNC Chapel Hill art, and this is a little embroidery kit that I bought from her, and it's printed. As you can see, it's a printed picture, and you just do some embroidery decorations and stuff on it. I did a friend of mine and I did a like studio. It was like an open studio thing that the Arts Council in that area does, like 2 weekends every year. And it's all kinds of artists, like potters and glass artists and paint artists and fabric artists. And anyway, so we went and toured some of the studios, and she was one of them. And so this is another needlepoint kit called Stitch and Zip. It makes a little scissors case. Again, just something I hadn't done. And that is like the painted canvas, which is not my favorite, but this I think came in a magazine. Stitch Fizzy Moon. And I think it's just like that little part right there. That's probably going to go away. I'll throw that in a freebie thing or something. So now we're to stuff that like I've kitted up, and kitted up for me may mean pattern, fabric, and floss, but a lot of times it's just going to mean pattern, and I've bought all the floss for it, and I haven't picked out fabric yet, because I have a decent fabric stash. And so a lot of times if I really like a pattern, I'll go ahead and buy all the floss for it and figure I'll find fabric for it later. But some of these do also have fabric, so it's just going to be kind of hit or miss, and I'll tell you what I've got. Excuse me. Some of them I did actually purchase as a kit from like an LNS that was, had an exclusive as a kit for a while. One or two of them may have come off of the Homespun Needlework Facebook group as a kit. But most of the rest of them I just kitted up myself. So these are going to be in no real order. And I probably do have some more patterns in my regular pattern stash where I have bought the floss. I know for a fact, like what was the Cottage Garden series last year? The houses. I have all of those, and at the time that I was on auto ship, and I also got the fancy flosses that went with those, but they require more floss, so I don't consider them really kitted because it's just the two fancy flosses, or one or two fancy flosses, and I still need more floss. So they're in my regular pattern stash. First up is Stitcher's Rules, which was a Nashville exclusive in 2023. And this is the full kit that they sold. It has the fabric, the backing fabric, the rick-rack, or whatever that is, the ruching stuff. It's got the stiffener. This is not really, this is what I mean by sort of kitted. These are a lot of those of the heart and hand birds. You see stitching bird. And I have stitching bird, quilting bird, 4th of July bird, Christmas bird, and winter bird. And all the floss for all of those, and possibly some more. I'm not sure. I know I have some more of these somewhere. I had, my intent was to do some gifts with some of these, and it just, you know, it hasn't happened yet. So, this is a little kit from, is it Shepherd's Bush? Yeah, Shepherd's Bush kit that I bought, at the LNS that's in like Alexandria or Arlington, Virginia. I can't remember the name of it. In Stitches. It's right there, Alexandria, Virginia. And it's You Better Not Pout by Shepherd's Bush. Just a little. And it has the fabric and the ribbon, and it even has needles in it. That might be a little one that goes. This one, I'm just going to show you this stuff anyway, even if it's technically not a kit. This is my thing of Owl Forest floss that I've bought to go with patterns that I've bought digitally, and I haven't picked out fabric. I'm going to show you the floss and what pattern it's for, and if I can tell, yeah. And then I will, as I talk, I'll also put up a picture of the pattern it's for. This is for Groningen Sampler, and it's blues. If you've never used Owl Forest floss, it's wonderful. This is for red and black sampler, and it's obviously reds and blacks. That's one that I may start sooner rather than later. This is for Wondrous Garden Custodians, greens, and then a blue. This one is for Alice in Wonderland Sal, which is one of their freebie sals from a few years ago on their website. So that's a free pattern on their website. This one is for their Emerald City, which is also a free pattern on their website. There was a sal a few years ago. And this one is for Silver Hoof Frost. So I just keep them, because they're for particular patterns, I keep them in a thing and in with all my kits and stuff so I can find them. But I think I'm going to leave that one out because that's a maybe sooner rather than later. And well, this one's not kitted, it's just to have the beads, and there's some more back in there. I keep my Mirror Bee as when I have bought the bead packs in my kitted area. So this is Lady Justice. And I have some more Mirror Bee patterns that I bought the bead packs that are in there too. And I thought I'd weeded all of them out, but apparently not. This is Meridian Designs Christmas at the Beach Triptych. And I was going to do this for a friend of mine, I think. And I have the perforated paper actually elsewhere. And this is all the beads. So, no actual floss in this one. Oh, nope, there's the perforated paper for it right there. Just won't fit in that bag. Well, I'll just go ahead and show y'all this. This is a Nora Corbett that I have the beads for. And the beads are on this one loose, so I'm not going to show you that. But it's, well, two of them. Witching Hour and Spellbound. And I've seen a couple people, I know Kitschy Whips and somebody else, do both of these together on the same piece of fabric. And I saw one of them do it with Spellbound kind of standing behind her over her shoulder, and the other one did it with it over here. I like the idea of the Spellbound over here, but so that's why they're both in this bag, because I have the beads for both of them in here. This one, this is Victoria Sampler Stitchin' Witches. That's the pattern. And I do actually have floss and the beads. I bought this from when they, at one point, I thought they were going out of business. Maybe they just stopped kitting, because I think they're still selling patterns. This one is one that I kitted up. The one time that I made it to Stitch and Frame in Rock Hill, South Carolina before they closed. This is Praiseworthy Stitches, Santa's Midnight Flight. And I have it kitted up with Labradale is the color from Fox and Rabbit. That's showing up very gray, but it's got a little more, that's a little better. It's got a little more bluish to it than it's showing. It is definitely well, it's got a little bit more bluish green. It's a greeny gray color. And I have most of, I think I have all or most of the floss. And I can't hold that right, sorry. And a few beads and everything for that. And I kitted that up completely when I was at Stitch and Frame that one time. This is another Victoria Sampler. This is Christmas Village. And I have called for 28 count Smoky Pearl Cashel Linen. And I also have the floss and beads that I bought from Victoria Sampler when I bought this. I think I bought the floss and beads and the pattern, and then I had to order the fabric separate. But that was also, I bought this also kind of when I was just kind of getting back into cross stitch and thought I had to use the called for everything, but I probably used called for that. That's going over in the possible starts. This one, I don't have the I think I'm gonna have to put a picture of the pattern up. It is a Shannon Christine Winter Wonderland, and I kitted this fully up when it first came out. Oh, I've got like a full yard of 32 count vintage Stormy Night in here. I'm gonna have to I think I'm gonna de-kit this one because I'm not sure that I'm gonna do it. I love it. I still think the pattern's pretty. It's just not at the top of my list anymore. And I had, like a whole ton of silver seed beads. I've got tons of white floss and what is that, 3808, 3810. I even have bought beading filament to do the beads. I've got all these beads, Mill Hills beads that I bought. But I think that I'm going to de-kit that one because that, I don't know that I'm ever do that one. And I've got a full yard of 32 count vintage Stormy Night in there. This was the Barefoot Needle Arts pattern for the retreat in February, I think, or last October. I think it was February's. If crabby, please return to the beach. My plan, and all I have in here is the one fancy floss, but I have this piece of fabric, and I think I'm gonna, this is Atomic Ranch 28 count in Ocean Sand. That's just perfect for it. My thought was to do that for my college roommate as a gift. And I'm going to do that. I probably should add that to the sooner rather than later list. This is the Artsy Housewife. I'll take my note off here. 2 snowy owls. And I am actually going to change the house on this probably to a turquoise. And I'm probably going to do it all in sulky. I can't remember. It was charted in sulky. And I have a full set of sulky. So I'm going to do it. I'm going to do the top and the tree and the other black as black. But I think I'm going to change the house to a turquoise. Which means I will probably change the shutter colors to a different shade of green, but I'm not sure what yet. But I bought this piece of fabric at Barefoot for it. It's 32 count Lugana in Stormy Seas by Barefoot Needle Arts. So I think that's part of why I'm I think that, but with the big house in turquoise is going to look really pretty on that. If I have a piece of fabric that is like particular to a pattern because I'm planning color changes and stuff, that's when I will save the fabric with the pattern and put it in kitted. This, I don't know what this is. Oh, so one of my whips is Lady Liberty by Twin Peak Primitives, which is part of the American Trilogy. There's 2 other, Shores of Freedom and Independence Hall. And so my original intention was to do all 3. So I have enough of the fabric that I'm doing Lady Liberty on to do the other 2. And this is all the floss. Apparently I was using floss bags at the time for those 2 patterns. But that one is going to be de-kitted because I don't think I'm going to do those other 2 patterns. I really like the Lady Liberty. Sorry, to make sure I don't stack things on. Really like the Lady Liberty, but looking at the other 2, I like one more than the other, but I just don't think I like either of them enough to bring them up to the top of my list compare when I have so many other things I really do want to stitch. So I like the patterns. It's just probably I'm not going to stitch them. This is, I'm not going to show you all of these. This was the snowmen from, I think, last year. Or year before last, 2023, I think. And I started this, and I did not like the fabric that I was using. And so I stopped it. And so this is all of the floss and the patterns for that. I am probably going to de-kit that because I'm going to do some of those patterns. But I've decided now, instead of doing the whole big thing, I'm just going to do some of them individually. So all of them, when I ordered them, I bought the fancy floss, like the 1 or 2 fancy flosses. And then I have in that bag the DMC, but I think I'm going to de-kit the DMC and just put the patterns in my pattern thing. And I'll do 1 or 2 whenever I do them. So this was the pattern from Helen D. At 2023 Stitch New England. Wicked Awesome Stitching. And it came with a thing and it's, what it is it's a little pouch to put that in. And it has the Ada and the floss. I think it's a pouch to put that in. Yeah, little pocket. So, actually, I think I'm going to take that out because I may do the pattern, but I probably will not make it into a pouch. So, this is from the Primitive Hair Cross Stitch Collector. I bought this, was it 2022? 2022. And this is the full kit that came with the board for it, the finishing board. It has the fabric and the button. There's little buttons, and I've got the floss in here. and everything. This was, and I'm going to have to put a picture up of this one because I only have the pattern. This was the pattern from Queen City Stitch Retreat, the original, the first one in 2023, designed by Nora Corbett. And I'm putting a picture up here of what it will look like. We got this little pouch, and we got the chronic, and all the floss, and a needle, and everything else. Because I mean, it's on the floss is all on floss drops. I like the chronic colors. I'm probably going to change the colors of the dress if I ever do this. I don't know if I'm going to or not. For now, I'm going to keep it kitted, but that's one of the, I liked it, but there's so many other Mirabelles that I really do, that I love more, so. Let's see. This is Sampler Santa by the Needles Notion. I kitted this up at Barefoot Needle Arts. I've got 28 count Seraphim Old Stationery. Got a half yard in here, but I think it takes a good bit because this is a big stand up. So, got that. And then another one from the Needles Notion, Hoot in a Boot. And I have seen this one fully stitched up, and it's adorable. Stacy, I think that's your name. Oh, I think it's Stacy, who I sat with at Barefoot in October. She had finished it. And so I have fabric in here that is Barefoot Needle Art Stormy Seas in 28 count Lugana. And I've got all the floss for it. And it's really cute because the owl is stitched separately. I think I'm going to put that on the sooner rather than later pile. Okay. Plum Street Samplers, Comfort and Joy. I bought this, I think, from the Country Sampler as a kit. It has 40 count baked clay. Is the fabric, which you can't see really well, and all the floss. Erica Michaels, Winter Wishes. I know I bought this one from Homespun Needlework Facebook group as an exclusive. And that had a thread thing in it. And the flat fabric. Trying to see if it said on the outside, but it doesn't. Fabric is, comes with floss and all the, oh, I was like, what is that stuff for? So you can do them as berries. Sorry, I can't see what I'm pointing to. And it has the stuff to finish the berries and little pins to go on top. And this is 40 count Steinbeck, which I think is needle and flax. And it has so it has both the frame design and the two berries, and there in the chart is a layout to show you how to get it all on this one piece of fabric. See if I can get that all back in there. I don't know if I will do, well, I don't mind stitching berries. I've never made a berry, and I don't really want to, but I guess I could always stitch the berries and take them to Faye and Faye Rigby, who is the Carolina cross stitcher, Carolina something, who's an excellent finisher. Doesn't live but 20 minutes from me. Okay, also Plum Street. This is Goody Grimwood. I just have the floss for this. Another Erica Michaels Liberty Games. Again, I just have all the floss for that. Add those to the possible sooner rather than later. Plum Street Sampler, the Addams Family. Again, just all the floss for it. I have so many Plum Streets that I bought all the floss for that I want to start. Plum Street Sampler, American Sampler. And again, all the floss. Plum Street, Kringle and Woolard. And I have some of the floss because I have a note. I put notes to what I still need. I still need a couple of flosses for that one. Plum Street Samplers, Summer Moon. As I mentioned on my last floss tube, I'm hoping that she's going to come out with an autumn themed one because I want to start summer and spring, and I already have winter started. Plum Street Sampler, Jeans and Weenies. I have all the floss for that one. Let me put the floss for that one up because I don't want to get rid of the pattern, but I don't know when I'll actually start that. Plum Street Sampler, Grimm's Halt. And I only have 2 flosses in there, but I have that in the kitted up. But I really want to do that one, so I need to put that one there. This is Brooks Books, Spirit of Christmas Stitching. And I think, is there perforated paper in here? Yes, that's why I have it kitted up in the kits, because it's got perforated paper in there. And it's also got the beads. I'm iffy on that one. It's Brooks Books, and as you may or may not know, she's passed away. And it's cute. It's not my colors, but I could always change the colors of it. So we'll keep that for now. And then Plum Street Samplers, American Welcome. And I have this in the kits because I have the Color and Cotton floss pack for that one. So I want to start all the Plum Streets. All of them. I can't. I mean, I want to do all of them eventually, but I can't start them all now. I can't start them all soon, but anyway. Okay, I think that's it, except for all of the, like, Mill Hill perforated paper type ones. So let me go put all this away, grab the next batch, and I'll be back. I'm sweaty now because I've been putting stuff up. I finished recording and realized that I forgot to show you the 3 projects that I had sitting over here that are kitted up that are probably going to get started in May or soon thereafter. And I mentioned all 3 of these in my last regular episode, but I thought I would show you what I've kitted up for them and put that in here as well. So first up is Cabin in the Woods by Flossabilities, and all 3 of these I have, believe all 3 of these I have digitally, so I'll have to put a picture up what it'll look like. I am going to do that on this Barefoot Needle Art Stormy Seas on 32 count linen. And it's not quite as drastically modeled as that's showing. There is definitely some modeling, but I have this is a fat half, so I've got plenty to choose from. And I have all the called for DMCs for that. There's, I think, 1 color in there that I may have to darken up for it to show on my fabric. Or lighten up, rather, for it to show on my fabric, but we will see when we get there. So that is number 1. Excuse me. Next up is, I don't know that there's an actual pattern name. It's Autumn 476 on the pattern by Nara X Stitch. And I'm going to do that on 32 count linen from Atomic Ranch in the Vapors colorway. That's just a really light gray. And that is all DMC. Try to see if I could get my hands on all these, because some of them are on floss drops because I had them in stash, and then others are still in the skein because I had to order them and I haven't put them on floss drops yet. So that's the color palette for that. And again, there's one that might be a little light on that fabric, but I think in most places it's surrounded by darker colors, so it will be fine, or I will make an adjustment as I stitch. And then finally is Modern Folk Embroidery's Move Forward in Love. And I am going to do that on Mystic Fabrics Purple Posies 28 count even weave, which is this bright purple. And it's a rainbow color palette. So I think even I'm doing it called for, except I'm going to use this skein of Cosmo 9016 for the outside border. And I think even that purple is going to show up well enough on that. So that one I want to start soon, but I want to finish Love is Love first. And I have a little less than 2,000 stitches left on Love is Love. So I think I'm not going to finish Love is Love in April, definitely, but I think I can finish it by the end of May if I don't finish it in May. So anyway, just wanted to show you those three, and I'll add that in, and we'll go back to what came after that. Okay, the Mill Hills. There's a ton of them. First up, the non-Mill Hills. I have a couple of Satsuma kits. I have Ice Cream, Haunted Hearse, House Guests, and Cat-O-Lantern. I have more of the Satsuma patterns, but I have them digitally, and I bought I've got perforated paper in a drawer over here, and I bought a thing of like sequins off of Amazon, so I will probably do more of those. Mill Hills. Most of these are going to be either Halloween or Christmas, because I've started a Halloween tree for my dining room table that I'm gradually doing ornaments for. And some of these are the bigger buttons and beads, which I'm going to probably do on fabric to do kind of like little stand-up houses and stuff. And then I have a bunch of Santas and Jim Shore and stuff like that. So let's start. I'm going to start with the non-Halloween or Christmas. I'll start with the buttons and beads first. And these have no theme, really. This is Nutty Squirrels, Waterfall, Dragonfly Fuchsia, Aurora Borealis, Sunflower Garden, Lighthouse, and Fall Beach. And then in small little ones, I have Sapphire Dragonfly, Apple Harvest. Most of these have magnets, but I will turn them into probably ornaments. Turkey Owl, Roller Skate. I thought my daughter-in-law used to do roller derby, and I was going to do that for her one year for Christmas ornament, but I didn't get around to it, and she's not doing derby anymore. I think she would if she could find one, but she's not, doesn't live where she can access it right now. Excuse me. Rainy Weather, Dragonfly Egg, Dragonfly, and Hootie. Okay, Christmas. small ones I have at the moment are Holly Elf. These are Christmas that are non-Jim Shore and not Santa's. Ollie Elf. Canada Goose. Sweet Sheep. Kitty Stocking. And Cozy Cabin. And I have To All a Good Night. Santa's Clothesline. Believe. And Fa La La Llamas. And then a couple that are Winter Glow. That's an older one that I just bought. Apparently they were replacing the buttons, and I'm not, if you look at the picture, you see that button's kind of really light blue and kind of fits in the middle. The button they replaced it with is a darker blue, so we'll see. I'm not sure if I'm going to like it. I might have to look for something different, or maybe just not put the button. Winter Wonderland. What is that? A bunny? Yes, it's a bunny, but it's a bunny with, like, I guess it's supposed to be a ribbon on it, but it's weird looking. Do you see the, like, black stuff on the bunny? I think it's maybe supposed to be a ribbon. I don't know. And Winter Woods. And then the rest of Christmas. I'm going to have to go into your screen here a minute to reach. I have Appalachian Santas. I have Smoky Mountain Santa. And Allegheny Santa. There was a third one, but I've already done that one. I can't remember what it was called, but it skipped with my Christmas ornaments. Rocky Mountain Santas. I have Pikes Peak Santa. Teton Santa. Beartooth Santa. National Park Santas. Grand Canyon Santa. Yellowstone Santa. And Yosemite Santa. Sorry again for reaching into the screen. We have Down Under Santas. We have Koala Santa. Kiwi Santa. Kangaroo Santa. And then the Timberline Santas, we have Norway Spruce Santa. Douglas Fir Santa. And Scotch Pine Santa. And then we have Jim Shore's. So we have Rabbit Gnome. Acorn Gnome. Evergreen Gnome. Owl Gnome. Mushroom Gnome. And I know there's at least one more of those that I've already done. Jim Shore Santa with Lantern. Oops. Gift Bearing Santa. Early Morning Santa. St. Nicholas. That one is that's a full square instead of a cutout. Perfect Christmas Santa. Santa and Cardinal Birdhouse. Santa with Lights. Gnome with Bells. Gnome Holding Holly. gnome with ornaments, gnome holding gifts, gnome with wreath, gnome with tree. Excuse me. Then we have all the Halloween. We have Splat Witch, Bewitching Pumpkin, and the rest of these are buttons and beads, I think. Midnight Owl, Spooky Scary, Haunted Library. Now the ones like these, like the buildings, I will probably do on fabric so that I can turn them more into like stand-ups rather than framing them, unless I can. If anybody has a good way to take something like the button and bead perforated paper and turn it into some kind of a stand-up rather than doing it on fabric, let me know, because I hate to, well, the perforated paper won't go to waste. I can use it on a satsuma or something, but on an ornament. Haunted Graveyard, Halloween Fun, Painted Pumpkins, Opera House, Moonlit Kitties, Haunted Tower, Haunted Mansion, Wanda's Wands, Moonlit Treaters, Spooky Gate, Moonstruck, Haunted Hotel, Haunted Laboratory, Ghost Town, almost there, Haunted Cottage, Into the Woods, and then we have the Hocus Pocus trilogy, Miranda, Mimi, and Muriel. And that's it. That is all of what I consider kitted up that I have, I think. As far as cross stitch or embroidery goes, I have like a 3-drawer IKEA dresser in my cabinet, not my cabinet, in my closet. The 3rd drawer is kitted, like felt applique, quilt kits, stuff like that. I also have quite a few more mirabilias than I showed you that I have the bead packs for. But I pulled most of those out. I just missed those couple that I did show you. Because when I do buy a mirabilia pattern, I try to buy the embellishment kit pack with it if I can, because I can always do floss and fabric later. So, anyway, I think that's it. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you saw something that you think I really should start, let me know your thoughts. Or if you saw something that you also have that you're planning to start, let me know that as well. Maybe I'll start it too. We'll see. I'm still trying to kind of be thoughtful about my starts, but what I'm also doing is trying to go through, I wanted to go do this because I wanted to go through what I had kitted. I'm going to go through all of my patterns and figure out what I want to kit up, because I kind of want to come up with, 40 or 50 things that I know I really want to do and have them kitted. So when I want to start something, it's pretty much ready to go. So that's kind of part of my process of going through all this. So anyway, hope y'all enjoyed it, and I will talk to you later. Bye, y'all.